The people on earth need to know all that you have witnessed and experienced, that their experience is not the totality of existence, but a crucial part of the overall plan. Today's NDE is by Viva. Intense pain, loud noise, swiftly extracted through the top of my head to the uppermost left-hand corner of the ceiling of the surgical suite. Awareness of self as being present while observing medical staff suddenly going into resuscitation mode. Realizing I still existed and was not afraid. Contrary to previous earthly experience of being young, a single mom raising a 3-year-old, and questioning the meaning of existence. I thought, this must be who I really am. When I myself in that state, and found that I was an alive being, an entity without a body, and I saw that the body was on the table, I thought, they think I'm gone, but I'm really up here. I was exhilarated, curious, and wanted to see where this would go. In all, I recall 4 various dimensions, and curiously don't recall the transitions in choosing to re-experience this daily in meditative prayer state. I want to recall the transitions, but I have not. Next, I was moving or flying through space, a dark void, at an unbelievably swift speed, aware eventually that I could not control speed and direction with awareness. I became aware that there were objects in that dark space, maybe like stars in the sky. They were bright in comparison, and I was attracted to them. I had the sense of avoiding some and steering towards others, maybe good or bad. Then there was one star of incredible dimension, brightness, beauty, majesty. As I was drawn toward it, combined with earnest choice, I could see the complex shapes and colors. Words don't describe it. I have tried to draw it. I could see dimensions where the colors and shapes were overlaid one on top of the other, like translucent, immense, precious stones, fitted together to form a complex doesn't describe, but a multidimensional impression of a most loving being that drew me to him, invited me in, and pointed the way to the light. All wisdom and love was conveyed via unheard thought transmission from that being, perhaps Jesus. That light was a yet far distant point that I immediately, in combination again of will and being drawn directly to myself, with all earnestness and with the conscious goal of uniting with that light or perish. As I approached the light grew larger, brighter, compelling until I was suddenly thrust into it, beyond a sense of boundary, with indescribable speed. That is the only transition that's recalled. Now, in the light, for eternity, it seemed like, experience a sense of being held or immersed or fully bathed, buoyant, one with the light. The light was a golden light, warm and embracing. A state of, although words are inaccurate, all love, peace, unity, wisdom from God at the center, and innumerable other unseen others poured into me to teach and explain to me the immense divinity of his overall plan from the beginning of time to the future. I soaked in with the conscious preciousness of gratitude for the unique, yet ever-present for all, experience of knowing the immensity of the glorious plan. I felt like a chosen tutoree with the privilege to be present here. I understood, in that experience, why and how God had been present and ever will be. That the experience on earth is like a stage for all the divine beings to observe, cajole, and minister to individuals on earth as they choose what they will and direct their own selves toward God or away. Inadequate, incomplete theology to explain. At the same time, I could perceive from their perspective also the literal view of earth from there, from, I guess, heaven, and even more, to move around the planet from many various perspectives, while still being there and continuing to receive transmission. Seemed like an eternity that I wanted to remain in, yet there was a direction to comprehend and maintain what I was learning. Eventually, there was a sense of need to return and participate in transmitting and sharing this experience. Actually, that came in the next dimension, but I don't recall the transition, where I was standing in front of the most beautiful, exquisite representation of the English cottage I always conceived in my mind since the earliest memory of childhood of my perfect home. I was outside the gate, which was a picket fence with curved arbor climbing with roses, and it was so real. The golden light was streaming from the windows in the late dusk. I knew God was in the house. I can see all the details of my home. I wanted to go in and be with him. As I put my hand on the handle to go in, I was told, "If you go in, you cannot come out. You have a little son," who was then 4 years old, "who needs you. The people on earth need to know all that you have witnessed and experienced, that their experience is not the totality of existence, but a crucial part of the overall plan. Could you see, understand, that my fear was an obstacle to coming to know God and his presence, not only for me, but also for all?" That was the overriding message, the root of all evil in this world, and the focus of their interest, or the message to this world. Then I experienced the reverse of the initial experience. I was moving from that wondrous state back in and through the top of my head. I became aware that I had a sheet over my whole body and head, that I was no longer in the surgical suite, and I knew that they thought I was dead. I knew that I had to move with all effort, and finally I did, and saw the surprise on the anesthesiologist's face, who was present with the nurse who did not see. Later, when roused by the surgeon, he dramatically questioned, "Where did you go? I thought I lost you." The rest is history. I recovered and chose not to return to work. I focused on my son and behaved in ways that were incongruent with previous experiences that were motivated totally by this experience. Subsequent detail is available that validates the presence of reality from that experience in all my behavior, if you like.